First-time home buyers generally find it quite a daunting thing to go through to buy a house. It's quite a complex process, and it takes quite a few months to actually get through this. So there are quite a few things that one should consider when you're getting into the market the first time. Firstly, the importance of doing some homework around the particular area that you're interested in. So in that regard, sometimes there's this immediate thing that I see a nice property and I just want to get that one. But one has to consider a bit more than that, particularly given the cost of actually getting into home ownership. It costs anything between 10 to 14% as extra costs just to go and buy a property. So one's got to sort of figure out a little bit of a longer term view, and in particular things like planning forward in your own life and circumstances, exactly how your family unit's going to develop. Maybe you're sort of planning kids, you're just sort of starting out at the moment. And then it will be important to consider things like proximity to schools, other social infrastructure, sport facilities, whatever is important for you. But just to consider that sort of more medium-term sort of view around the particular area. Then on the property itself, probably a good idea to kind of just scan around quite widely in that particular area then. We think it's always useful to kind of get into property at the lower part, or sort of lower priced units compared to the average in that particular area then, with the ability to extend to always kind of make it better and achieve more capital growth in relative terms. So if you kind of buy the most expensive property in a particular suburb, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe sort of go for the lower priced units and really look over time as you grow into more financial security, and you can add on. Then for you yourself, your credit worthiness and also the affordability of this new thing that you're entering into is quite important. So on the credit worthiness side, it's important to kind of establish one's credit record and make sure that it's all fine before you actually apply, because it's kind of not great for anyone to hear that you've been declined for a loan. So we have available websites with easy access to various credit bureaus in our country, and one can go and get your own credit record. So that's something that you can actually get quite easily. So have a look frequently and see exactly what's up on that and make sure that that remains crystal clear. Secondly, on the affordability, and that's quite an important thing, all banks, financial services providers have a responsibility to, under the National Credit Act, do some form of affordability check. And so one can also do quite a lot of preparation work around that before you even start to think of applying for a particular loan. Basic things like doing your own budget, sort of looking at your expenses very carefully, and also considering all those expenses that probably will come as additional stuff when you buy your first house. Rates and taxes to be paid, probably a little bit more water, electricity, maintenance of the property, insurance. In many cases there's the structural insurance of the property, but also a life policy. Many banks will actually ask to take out or either take out or cede life cover for the balance of the loan. And I think also part of that whole thing is to start planning also very carefully one's estate and decide clearly should this property be registered in your own name or in a trust, some other legal entity, and the importance then of doing your will as you start to acquire this kind of asset as well. So those are all factors that one should carefully consider, and there's a lot more. Maybe the point here is that one's got to kind of really do a bit of preparation and homework before you enter into that first deal and sign the first offer to purchase.